Hello friends, Dreena Burton here. We are doing a really delicious, easy pasta sauce that can be tomato free. It is tomato free. And I want to show you this sauce, however, not on pasta, because when I created the sauce, I had one of my friends and recipe testers, Molly, try out the sauce, and she used it in all kinds of different ways. So we're going to do this sauce today, and it's a rich curried pasta sauce. It has just a handful of ingredients. It's really easy, and if you have some items batch cooked, ready, boom, you're done in like 10 minutes, okay? So I have a couple of things. I just realized I forgot something. So while I'm away, whoever's joining in now from Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, I want you to share a joke in the comments, please. I need a joke today, okay? I'm just feeling a bit like, I don't know, a little bit of the weight of the world on my shoulders, I think, today. So please share a joke. I have one that I meant to tell in my yoga class yesterday, and I'm going to have to save it for next week. So I'm hopping away for a second. Tell a joke, and I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back here, and I have a couple of things I want to share with you today. I don't see any jokes. Guys, maybe I'm not seeing my comments. Let's see. Nope. Guys, give me a joke. So a couple of things. So I want everyone to stay tuned. We're going to do this video, I think in under a half hour. We're going to get through this today. It's going to be really quick. And I want to give you lots of ideas so you can do this at home very efficiently. And I have another giveaway today, and it's something kind of fun and special. And there's something I want to show you at the end of the video too. So stay with me. And I do have the winner from last week who won the copy of Simply Plants ebook. And that is Nancy Gervais. I think it's Gervais, like Ricky Gervais, pronunciation the same. So Nancy, I've hearted your comment on YouTube, and I will message you after so you can email me. And I will be doing another giveaway today. So just hang with me, and I'm going to show you what the giveaway is later. I couldn't chat on YouTube, Cindy's saying. Is anyone else on YouTube and not able to chat? That's interesting. Okay. Maybe comment after on YouTube, everyone, if you're here. And also, wherever you're joining from, say hello to each other in the chat. Offer up a joke if you have one. And like when you're there, like the video, like the broadcast. That's the word I'm looking for, so that this can get out there. Okay. So we're going to get started. Oh, and I have some treats with me today. You guys have any treats? Got any chocolate treats? What are you having? Let me know. What treats are you having? I have my tea, and I couldn't decide if I wanted my midday square or a turtle because I have leftover turtles. So I brought those out. I have them in a lunch container. And that way, Paul doesn't know they're there because they're like in a lunch container. I think he thinks it's Hope's lunch. Top tip. So I've got some leftover turtles. Oh, and Cindy's having a midday almond crunch. That one's my favorite right now. So look at these. Yeah, I've got those. So I'm going to have a nibble of that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And I just opened the, what's this one called? Fudge, yeah. So good. Guys, the turtle recipe's in the description, okay? So if you want to make those, they are delicious and they're easier than they look. I did a video last week, so you'll find the video in my post. And you can make them in a half hour. They're not hard. And if you want to pick up the midday squares, the link is there for those. And there's 15% off if you use my name, Dreena. That's it. Super easy. So and it's not a one-time thing. So let's get to this recipe. And this one is from my Simply Plants ebook, but I'm going to read out the measurements so that if you don't have the ebook, a lot of you bought it when I did a big promo for it. If you don't have it, I will read out the ingredients. Plus, I'll give you a little discount if you want to pick it up today. Debbie, they are so good. Please give them a try. Look at the recipe. Cindy, this is a lunchbox. I have this one on my site somewhere. If you just go to my site and search lunchbox, there it is. I've had this one for years and years and years. So really good place to hide treats. There's always another use for these things. Okay, so we're going to really get to the recipe now. So it's a rich curried pasta sauce, but I'm going to show you how to make it into a Buddha bowl today, because that's one of my favorite things to eat are like, you know, Buddha bowls. But also we actually just had pasta last night and I just didn't feel like making pasta again tonight. So that's the other reason I'm not doing it as a pasta sauce. But in the book, it's fully, in the ebook, fully described, like how to make the pasta and the sauce, etc. Okay, so what we're starting with is, this is 4 cups of a deep orange squash. Now you could use butternut. I really like kabocha or red curry. I know Cindy likes red curry as well. I just saw one of her photos online in our Kind Kitchen group. And I bake them whole. And I did a video showing that, and that is also in the description. So if you just go to the description in the video here, you'll see how I bake them whole. I have one here because I baked another because I love them. I love them, and I make them, you know, this time of year, I bake one pretty much once a week. And then when you cut into it, all you have to do is bake it. You don't have to peel it. You don't have to deal with that hard rind. You just bake it. And then you get this squash with this gorgeous orange color, right? So this one's piping hot. And I do actually need a tiny bit more from this one because I was a little shy of the 4 cups with what I had on hand. This is actually pretty hot, but my hands have gotten used to that over the years. The girls are like, Mom, what are you doing? Use an oven mitt. You're going to burn yourself. I'm like, yeah, my nerve endings and my fingertips are not feeling this right now. Okay, so this is just to round out the extra. And I just, you know, pare off that little bit of rind. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you have your squash. I actually also have in here just a small amount of sweet potato, which is optional, but I give that option in the recipe that if you want to use, say, 3 cups of squash and 1 cup of sweet potato, then you can do that. And that's what I've done here today because I had some sweet potato in the fridge and it needed to be used. And I wasn't going to give it all to the dog, even though he would have loved that. Our dog loves the sweet potato. And now the next ingredient is, it's not optional, but if you have an issue with nightshade vegetables, then what I say is skip it and either use more squash, or you could use some steamed cauliflower or some steamed carrot even, right? Cauliflower I think would be nice. But I've got red bell pepper and I roasted it, actually just broiled it. So I have in Dreena's Kind Kitchen, guys, if you haven't really spent time looking through the front of the book, I have this section, right, with frequently asked questions. And I go through and there's like the first sections like about ingredients and substitutions. So can I substitute cornstarch for arrowroot? Your recipes specify chickpea miso. What if I can't get it? What can I use instead of nuts or cashews? And then I have another section on techniques. And this covers things like, how do I saute without oil? I'm just looking at ones that will be relevant for today. Why do you roast nuts and seeds? That's not really relevant for today, but and how do you roast them? And so I go through the how-tos.
And I have tips like this, right? Roasting red peppers. All I did for this was place them on a baking sheet, and I used my toaster oven because I've got one of those larger toaster ovens, and I put them on parchment. I cut them off the core, put them on parchment. You can sprinkle on a little salt or not, and just get them under the broiler for like about maybe 10 minutes. And then when they're done, you put them in a bowl and cover the bowl. I just cover it with a plate. Sometimes you see cover with plastic wrap, but I just find a plate works super easy, and you're not using extra wrap. And so then once they have been sitting in that bowl, the steam helps release the skins, and it's easier to remove that charred skin. Okay. You could also use jarred roasted red peppers. Absolutely. If you want to, have a shortcut and pick up some that are already prepared in the store. Absolutely. These happen to be on sale at one of our local stores. Cindy, you're in the area, so they were at Nature's Fair. I think it was $2.99 a pound, which is a really good price here for bell peppers. They're usually organic ones are usually about $8.99 a pound, which is shocking, right? Okay, and so we have about a cup of that. I'm just eyeballing it there. And that goes in the blender. You guys can't see the blender. Hang on. So I am using my high-speed blender, and I get a lot of questions about the blender and Blendtec versus Vitamix. So I have used Blendtec for over 15 years now. The machines last a long time. The customer service is great. And I love the jars. So like they have the standard jar that it comes with, and then this is this the wild side? Yes, it is. This is the bigger wild side jar. You don't need the big jar, but I like it for sauces like this because look at the volume it can take, right? So this is the wild side jar. And then they have the smaller twister jar, which is really handy. I use this pretty much daily for like sauces and dressings. So that's what I use, and I have experimented with Vitamix. I prefer Blendtec, but I know there are people who love, Vitamix. That's fine. I just really love the design of Blendtec, and I like the older style. So if you're in the market for Blendtec, I like these older ones that aren't digital. And if you shop for a refurbished unit, then you're basically getting everything new. The housing is new, the jar is new. It's just the motor that's been reconditioned. So it's a really good deal, and they're like brand new, and I love these ones. And if you do want to shop for a Blendtec, there's a link there with a code for 20% off, which is a really good deal, 20% off on anything, the jars or whatever. Okay, so, and then we're going to add some water, and up to you, coconut milk. You can use light, you can use regular, or you can substitute. I know a lot of people don't want to use coconut milk. You can substitute a plain, unsweetened, non-dairy milk, okay? Easy peasy. I'd probably go with oat or soy. I think I'd go with oat maybe, would be good here. And then we've got some salt and garlic, and I'll run down the measurements at the end for you. And a tablespoon of lemon juice. You could use lime juice. In fact, I bought some limes today, and instead of using the juice, because I had a lemon cut and I thought I would just use that, I'm going to instead just grate a little bit of the rind. Use a kitchen rasp. Do you guys have one of these? Super handy. I use it for garlic, for ginger, and mostly for zest, lemon and lime zest. And what I do, if I'm feeling up to it, if I'm feeling in the mood, I didn't think I got any jokes here today, guys. Did anybody bring in the joke? No jokes. Someone may offer a joke later. The one I was going to tell in yoga yesterday was, and I forgot, roll yourself in wrapping paper and tape it up. That's how you live in the present. I know, corny. I love corny jokes. So if I'm in the mood, and this is an organic lime, when I'm doing zest, I like to use organic lemons, limes, and I'll do a bunch of them and then collect the zest and put it in the freezer. and then get your juice and juice. Because once you juice, it's hard to then grate, right? Because it's lost the firmness, and it's really hard to collect the zest. If you zest it first, and then you can put it in the fridge and juice it at any time. But then if you have zest in the freezer, you can just pull it out and use it. It's super handy. So I'm just going to zest a little bit of this on the plate and add it to the sauce after. Because seriously, lemon and lime zest, if you're looking to add flavor to recipes without adding extra salt, with lowering, say, fat content, citrus really lends a flavor boost and makes food so much more interesting and satisfying. So there, see, there's the lime zest. Look at my fancy plates, guys. Ooh. Again, Martha's not coming. So we're gonna puree this. I think that's everything. Yeah. Oh no, I don't have the curry powder in there. So it's a tablespoon of curry powder, and it can be any curry powder you have, use, love. This one's a little spicy. They vary in intensity and heat, right? So I have a tablespoon. Another option that would be really nice in this, I was going to do this today, is to use a tablespoon of a Thai curry paste, like red or yellow curry paste. That would be delicious, and use lime juice. I'm going to do that next time. Okay, so blending. So this is going to get noisy. Hang on. That's it. It's done. Now, if you want to serve this from the blender, continue to blend it on soup mode. So that's one of the beautiful things about these high-powered blenders, is that it has a soup syrup. I think it's, what's it say? Soup, syrup, fondue. Yeah. So you just press this button, or you just blend it for longer, and it will heat it up in the jar. And that way you could just pour it right over, which is what I'm going to do later. I don't want to keep blending it too long because it's not fun for you guys to listen to it. I do want to blend it just one little bit more though. Hang on. It smells so good. And look at the volume of sauce. This is enough for me to make Buddha bowls tonight and use as a sauce for pasta another night. You could even enjoy this as a soup, really. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't. And I'm just going to sprinkle in that lime zest. There you go. Look at this. Look at the color. I wish you could smell it, because the smell of the curry and the lime, oh my, it's amazing. And the coconut milk, I mean, I hear some people use, instead of coconut milk, they use plant milk and add coconut extract. I don't love that idea. I feel like coconut extract tastes too coconutty. It tastes a little artificial. So I'd prefer to just, unless you're doing a sweet recipe, I would prefer to just use plant milk straight up and not use coconut milk. But coconut milk kind of goes with the curry, goes with those flavors. And it's a nice addition. And you can use the light coconut milk, which will save a lot on fat if you need. I'll get to the questions after. Ooh, I see Lynn is here, and she's got a joke. Thank you, Lynn. What's Forrest Gump's Facebook password? One Forrest one. I love it. What did the gingerbread man put under his blanket? That's Cindy's. I don't see the answer. What did the gingerbread man put under his blanket? You're gonna have to give us the answer now, Cindy. Okay. So I'm gonna make this Buddha bowl now. Oh, the other thing I wanted, a cookie sheet, of course. A cookie sheet, of course. The other thing I meant to say you could add to this sauce, and I'm going to add it at the end when I garnish, is a little bit of cilantro, because it really also goes with the curry. And cilantro is a hate or love, right, thing. It's a hit or miss for people. You could substitute basil, I think, or Thai basil would be nice. But if you love cilantro, that would be a nice addition. If you're someone that's like, oh, of course, don't use it. Okay, and I'm just going to prep a little Buddha bowl for you with what I have on hand. Okay, so I cooked some rice earlier. And when I make rice, I make a big amount like this because then I use it during the week to say pair with a soup, or I'll make a stir fry with it another night. And I did a video with the stir fry a couple of weeks ago. Bridget uses rice in her lunches all the time, so I make a lot and have it ready. And this time I combined brown, sticky, short grain brown rice with jasmine. I talked about that in another video, how I sometimes combine the two. So the trick to that is you cook the longer cooking rice for as long as you need to, like you subtract it. So jasmine rice takes about 20 minutes. Short grain brown rice takes 45 minutes. So I do the short grain brown rice for like 25 minutes, and then rinse the jasmine rice and get the water ready. And I usually add boiling water so that it doesn't have to come up to temperature again. Add that in and then cook it for another 15, 20 minutes. I actually find jasmine rice cooks faster than what it says on the package. So I usually go about 15 minutes. And then I add some ice cubes to it after to kind of cool it down and add that little bit of extra moisture without overcooking it. Okay, so I'm just going to put some rice in here. And then just trying to figure out how I want to make this look. Let's do it this way. And then I've got some tofu that I also batched up. Guys, I cannot tell you how much tofu I cook in a week. It's shocking because the kids really enjoy it. And Bridget loves it so much. She puts it in her lunches. She eats it after school. And Hope's really active with competitive swim. So she's eating it, and I'm using it in her lunches. So this is the way I do tofu most often. And I also showed this in another video. I've linked those videos below, guys, by the way, in the description. The video for the squash and the tofu and the kale, which I'm going to show in a minute. So you could just hop over and have a look, right? Really easy. But this is basically tamari and a balsamic reduction. Boom, that's it. And you can put, you know, as much or as little tofu as you want. You don't even have to use tofu if you don't want. Not everyone likes it. And then I did just mixing in that lime zest. I did the kale. I need a plate. Hang on. Or a bowl. Bowl will work. So I did a video like this was a couple of months ago where I showed my new favorite way to prepare kale, and it's so fast. And I love it because it tastes a little bit like a kale chip. It takes no time, and surprisingly, the family loves it too. Like, it really, sometimes the simplest things are very like satisfying. So I have that video in the description as well. And it's basically just, you know, spin drying the kale, getting a pan on a super high heat, putting some salt in the pan, and then kind of not scorching, but really high heat cooking the kale. And it gets a little bit crispy and has that salt gets right into it. So it's really yummy. And then so you put a bunch of kale on the side like that. Ta-da. And then you can pour over the sauce. I'm just going to pour it right over the rice. But I'm not quite finished. Hang on. One more thing, and I don't have it, so I have to hop away for it. Some nice thick pumpkin seeds. I've shown you guys these ones before. The Scuda ones that have some seasoning. They have like a chili maple seasoning. Put that over top. And then that cilantro, if you want the cilantro. The cilantro. And you can add more of the squash sauce if you want. There you go. So here's the thing. If you have the rice pre-cooked and in the fridge, all you have to do is warm it up. And I had someone ask me last video how to warm it. All I do is put it on a baking tray or in a baking dish, cover with foil, and put it in the oven on a low heat for like 15, 20, maybe not even 15 minutes maybe. on a low heat. You can microwave it. We don't have a microwave, but that's what I do to reheat it. And then if you have the tofu made, that's that simple. If you have the kale on hand, give it a quick spin. You're done. You could also use one of those salad kits. Buy those baby kale in those packages, and you could just pop it right into the skillet that way. So that is a simple, delicious bowl, and there's no way I'm going to use all that sauce tonight. So I have now a pasta sauce for later in the week, and I'll just cook the pasta and drain it and then add this sauce to it, and it thickens up with the pasta. You just let some pasta water cling to the pasta noodles. Don't rinse them. And then put it back in the pot, add the sauce, and heat it through. And it's delicious. So good. And then you could, again, top it with the kale. I love to have pasta with that quick cook kale. 3 times fast. Quick cook kale. Quick cook kale. Quick cook kale. And that is an amazing dinner. You could drizzle some balsamic over it. You could put a drizzle of cashew cream over it. That's often what I do. And in the recipe, I do have a cashew cream that goes with this, so that if you have it with pasta, then you want to just give that little bit of decadence over the top. The cashew sauce is just so like perfect for it. It's really luxurious. So that's the sauce. And that's your bowl. Pretty easy, right, guys? Yeah. And so I want to wash my hands, and I'm going to check the questions, and I'm also going to give you the amounts in the recipe, and then I'll show the giveaway. Okay, I have such a mess here today. Okay, so the recipe is 4 cups of orange squash, and you can use acorn squash. I had a question there. Yes, I really love red curry or kabocha. I really like the density of the squash and the flavor. So that's what I always go with. You could use butternut. 1 cup of roasted red pepper. Again, you can sub in, say, steamed cauliflower or more squash or sweet potato. And you can sub in some sweet potato for the squash. So 4 cups of squash, 1 cup of roasted bell pepper, 1 clove of garlic, whatever, you want a lot, use a big clove or more, 1 tablespoon of lemon or lime juice, 1 tablespoon of curry powder or more if you like. Salt, I usually start with about 1 1/4 teaspoon and then adjust to taste. Add it to your pasta, then see if you want a little more salt in there. 2 cups of water, 1 cup of light coconut milk or regular if you want, or unsweetened plant milk like oat milk. And then for serving, a little bit of pepper, some cilantro, the cream sauce. That's it. The pumpkin seeds, you're done. So that's the recipe. Super easy. Blend it all together. Boom. You are done. And let's see what other questions have come in. The pumpkin seed info. Oh, Jane, yeah, it's Scuda pumpkin seeds. I'll give you a link. When I'm off, I'll pop back and give you the link. I don't have the exact bag here, but these are the sea salt ones. That's the sea salt ones. And then they have another one in a red bag that's like, I think it's chili maple. It's not super spicy. You don't taste it and go, oh, it's so hot, which sometimes is the case with things that are seasoned like that, chili. They just have a hint of sweetness and just a little kick of heat, and they're really nice to top something. I sometimes use them in nooch sprinkle as well, pulse them into nooch to make like a nut cheese, right? A sprinkle. They just have just a touch more flavor, right? So that's the brand. And then I usually buy a box on Amazon, which has 6 bags. So I'll see if I can get the link, because I know once on Amazon, the stock was out in Canada or in the States, one or the other. But I always buy a bunch and then put them in a jar. Okay. Woo, I've talked a lot. Whew. I just want to see if there's any other questions. Oh, and the tofu recipe, Jane, I did another video. It's in the description. All I do is sprinkle it with tamari and balsamic reduction. And I buy the balsamic reduction because, who wants to make balsamic reduction every week? Not me. And my kids love it too. Okay, so I did mention that Nancy Gervais won the Simply Plants ebook last week. Oh, and if you want to pick up the ebook, the link is there. There's a 20% discount for you until the end of the week. And what did I say the discount code is? Squash. Caps. Squash. SQUASH to make this sauce. So you can pick that up until the end of the week for 20% off, or just make the recipe from the notes. And the giveaway for next week is, I love these. I love these so much. And a few of you have them because you pre-ordered Dreena's Kind Kitchen, or you were part of the Kind Kitchen, like show your recipe love on social media, where you showed a picture of your food and I drew winners. And one of the gifts were these laptop stickers, which people are also using them for like water bottles or notebook stickers. But I'm going to give away 2 sets of these, and I love them so much. I have them on my laptop now. So this one is plant powered, and tea and chocolate, of course, as we're enjoying right now. Use your bean, your little noggin bean guy. I love him. Kind Kitchen. And the last one is, because I designed these t-shirts eons ago, Hummus is a Food Group t-shirt. So I'll give away 2 sets of those. I'll pop them in the mail to you, okay? And the other thing I want to show you before I go is that, like, you guys are the best community. And I always appreciate hearing from you and receiving your recipe feedback and your notes and your emails. Like, it just brings me a lot of joy to read those. And over the years, I have made friends online that, you know, it began as someone who started using my recipes, and we became kind of friends online. And sometimes they did recipe testing for me. But like, I don't have the biggest audience. I don't have the biggest social numbers, but I have the best, because I hear from you and just receive your like warmth, and it's so meaningful to me. I just love to, you know, see that online and in emails. And then sometimes you do even more special things, and I'm going to call you out now, Lynn. So hopefully you're not going to blush too hard in the background here. But Lynn sent me a beautiful quilt this week. I mean, who does that, right? To take the time to, one, make something, send it in the mail. It's almost like a lost, mailing something is a lost art, unless it's a return to Amazon. Right? Most people are going to the mailbox to return things to Amazon. She made me this beautiful quilt, and I have to show you without getting it too close to the food. I got it yesterday, and I'm so touched. She knows that I'm a spring and summer girl. And so she said she wanted to bring a little bit of spring into my home while keeping me cozy. It has a beautiful warm backing on it, and she signed it below. And I'm just so touched, Lynn. Thank you. Like, it's so beautifully done. I'm so impressed. I can sew on buttons, and that's it. Like, and my youngest Hope, she got a sewing machine for Christmas, and she's been making scrunchies and kind of getting creative and really enjoying it. I think because, you know, our kids are getting raised in this world of screens, and she's not on a screen long or much in the day, but at school they use Chromebooks. And then for homework, they have to sometimes put things online. And then she loves music on Spotify. So she has a phone that she uses for that, but that's like it. We're trying to keep her away from it as long as possible. And so I think for kids to come back to a place of solace with creativity like that is it's just very comforting for them, right? It's a really beautiful place to be, to have something that's crafty and is, you know, your quiet, creative space to be. And so Lynn also has this, obviously, and I'm just so touched. I cozied up with it last night as I was writing in my gratitude journal, and I gave thanks for it.
And I just, got all cozy with my quilt, and it's very special. So thank you, Lynn. And that's what I wanted to show you special today. And I thank all of you for, being with me and just always being supportive and sharing good words and kind words with me and about my book online and all of that matter. We're going to have a good cry now. Oh my. So thank you very much. Yes, Nancy, it does make me feel very loved. Thank you. And I'm sending that love back to all of you and to Lynn, and hoping that, you feel a little bit of love with my recipes sometimes too. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to wrap it up and send you on your way. Have a great day. Try the recipe. Try those turtles. Try them out. And we'll see you probably next week, okay? See you guys. Blessings to you all. Have a good one. Bye.